Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we have a very quick follow-up to a video I did yesterday, the one with J.K. Rowling at the Women's Conference. Of course, you had all those trans activists outside the venue desperately wishing that they were women, but they aren't, they never will be. But at the same time, castigating and slating women, because although they're men who want to be women, they're all misogynists anyway. But she described one of them very, wonderfully as a bit of a prick, which I think is both true and ironic. But now she is threatening legal action against someone, an activist, of course, who shouted "F you" at these women at this conference. And so, why the police weren't there arresting this, because it's obviously an illegal behaviour and that. But, the police, again, cowardly, craven Scottish police, don't want to upset the trans because, don't want to be seen as phobic. No, upholding the law is not phobic. It's upholding the law. It's doing your job. If you don't want to do it, resign as a policeman. Please go away. And if you do want to do your job, do your damn job. Anyway, that's a different video. What we're looking at here is JK. So we'll go straight in and see what she is saying and doing. Here goes. So J.K. Rowling threatens legal action against the trans activist who shouted "F you" at women. Good on her. Please do. Since the police aren't doing the job, you do the job for them. You aren't craven. You see, you've got all those policemen standing there, and it seems that the only person with balls is J.K. Rowling. The policemen don't appear to have any. The Harry Potter author has responded to claims that she manipulated video footage with a threat of legal action following a Glasgow women's rights event. Yeah, they're saying, "Oh, you manipulated that." She didn't. She just photographed it and videoed it. But what it is they've been presented with the truth, and they don't like it because it makes them look like a bunch of intolerant wankers. I'll let the viewer decide. Anyway, J.K. Rowling has made a thinly veiled threat of legal action against the trans activist who led an "F you" chant aimed at women attending Glasgow's Philia conference. The author had already branded a male activist a prick after women's rights campaigners were met with abusive signs and shouts. These women who are coming from all over the world where women's rights are appalling come to Scotland where you think, oh, well, we're in the West and women's rights are a thing. And then they meet this bunch of intolerant tosspots standing outside hating on women, the misogynist wankers, every last one of them. Anyway, the individual has since issued a written explanation telling followers the "F you" song was only dedicated to the TERFs, bigots and fascists attending Philia. Now, actually, if you want the true bigots and fascists, they were the ones outside with the flags and the banners. They were the true fascists. The ones inside are women trying to ensure their own safety from wankers like that. In a shout out to Rowling, he accused her of clipping the video to make it look like he was shouting abuse at women. But he was, because he's admitted he's shouting at the TERFs that are women. So he's admitted he's shouting out at women. What a dick. I mean, seriously, these guys are thick as two shit planks, aren't they? And like I say, no matter what they do, still blokes. Don't care what you call yourself. You're still blokes. You can be a pretendy Wendy all your life. You're still a man. And even if you cut your cock off, you're still a man. You're just a man with no cock. Could join the police then, couldn't you? In a controversy began when the venue was revealed to have considered cancelling the event over the attendees' gender-critical stance. And then, of course, then came the lawyers and the venue caved because they soon realised they'd be breaking the Equality Act. And when they saw the fines, they went, "Ooh, no," and they allowed it to happen because the fines are immense. The video of protesters soon surfaced and Rowling branded the shouting man a prick, because he is. In her response, she said, "Wonder whether at Harlow Boylesque, can't read it really, could let us know the identity of the fascist he spotted among the women at whom he was bellowing F you, asking for a friend, well I say a friend, lawyer." She went on to state, "Not quite how this video could have been cropped to make it look worse unless Tom's accusing me of editing out a large crowd of fascists. I await his explanation with the liveliest of interest, star." And then puts their star. "I say, I mean the lawyer who's quivering like an excited chihuahua." because obviously she can afford the very, very best legal team. Billionaires can do that. Little woke soy boys who like to pose like that and show themselves up to be complete and utter pricks can't. And there's the difference. So we have to wonder if she does take him to court, what's he going to do? Cry to mummy? There he is. There he is, a very, very stupid man who pretends to be a woman, and yet strangely with that Adam's apple and big manly chin with the stubble on it will never be a woman. Anyway, calling out transphobia and hate speech is not the same as hating women. It's just being firmly against transphobic people who actively campaign against trans people and their rights on a daily basis and holding them accountable for inciting hate against a vulnerable minority, said Tom Barlow, the man behind that Twitter account. Yes, but they aren't being transphobic by wanting women's rights. You are being misogynistic by standing on the corner shouting at women. And if you can't see the difference, it's because you're thick. And also filled with bigotry, loathing, self-loathing, hate, and an absolute inability to accept that with that penis between your legs and your XY chromosomes, nothing you do, and I mean literally nothing you can do, can change who you are. Sad, isn't it, when you go through life unable to accept reality? You sad, sad man. Anyway, the conference attracted women's rights campaigners from across the world. Oh, good, I've just seen a name who I love. The conference attracted women's rights campaigners from across the world, with Rowling joining a discussion panel. And it's not the first time Rowling has threatened to get lawyers involved. Last year, she went head-to-head with transgender activist India Stillaboy in the firestorm following revelations about a leading trans charity, that being dolphins, because dolphins want to industrially, cut the balls off boys and sterilise children, on a big industrial scale. And they were pushing all this, led by a woman who has zero education in any kind of medication, and wanted to be called a doctor. Demanded that she was addressed as doctor, even though she hasn't got any education whatsoever. And all she's done is pander to her mentally ill son her whole life. But hey, it's since been basically closed down because it's so toxic to children. But Mr. Barlow is yet to publicly respond to the threat from Rowling. He's gone into hiding because he's a little scaredy boy. Look at him. What a soy boy wanker. I mean, honestly, never had meat in him, has he? Never had a plate full of meat anyway. But he's had lots of meat. Anyway, I shall stop there. I shall say thank you very much once again, J.K. Rowling, for standing up for the vulnerable in society, especially the vulnerable women, who get bullied and harassed by little wankers like that on a regular basis. Well done. I do like the threat. It's marvellous. Keep it up. I'm not a billionaire, but I stand by this one. Normally I don't like billionaires. She's all right. Anyway, I shall finish there and come up. They're always very loud, aren't they, these inadequate little men? They seem to think that being loud makes them right, or being offended makes them right. Do you know that being loud or being offensive doesn't make you right, and being offended doesn't make you right? What makes you right is being right. And, of course, you're never, ever right. I mean, you only have to look at the likes of, what's his name? Owen, isn't it? I can't think of his name. Owen Jones, yeah? And Owen Jones keeps getting punched in the face because, again, he's another little weak, gobby soy boy whose mouth writes cheques that his arse can't cash. And so he meets real people who just disagree with him in the most, physical way they can. Bop. And that's all it takes with these guys, Quick bop in the mouth. They're not going to come back at you because none of them, they're not real men. And they're certainly not real women. They're sort of a nothingness, aren't they? They're like the ghost. They're like a little ghosty sub-community of nothingness. You can wipe them out. Facts. Oh boy, they hate facts, don't they? Anyway, well done, JK. Keep it up, girl. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Bye.